So, hello everyone, good evening to all. Just confirm me once that my voice is audible to you. Just confirm me once that my voice is audible and this PDF file is visible to you on screen so that we can start our discussion on this extremely important topic, extremely important subject, that is GST versus income tax. Okay, sir. Thank you for your response in the chat box. Today we have session on YouTube only. There is certain issues, so we are not conducting the sessions through Zoom. Today the session is available on the YouTube only. But I request everyone to stay connected, join the session, watch it live now, and also I request everyone try to share the link of this session with your other professional friends, professional groups, so that we all can create a great world of knowledge. Okay. Now, sir, on YouTube also you have one chat box. So if you have any query, any question, any doubt, in that case you can put that your question or query in the chat box. I am here to see your comments in the chat box and view your questions in the chat box. Will definitely provide the response for your each and every query which will be there in the chat box. Okay. So today's topic is quite interesting, quite attractive. Today, we are not supposed to discuss any provision of law, any section, anything else. Today, we'll discuss something new things related to the GST and income tax because I think 70 to 80% of the professionals, which uh, those who are watching this particular video or this live session, they are dealing in income tax as well as GST. So we need to know that what are the things I need to keep in my mind while handling the GST compliances from income tax perspective, and what are the things I need to keep in my mind while handling the income tax perspective, income tax compliances from GST perspective. Both the things are very required. So after considering all these things, we have designed this specific topic. Sir, this is a 5 day series, and today is the fifth day of this series. Okay, we have started our discussion. We have covered 128A amnesty scheme. We have covered how to analyze the financial, that is, close the financial statement. We have also covered the specific topic related to litigation handling. Okay, we have also covered the specific topic, that is invoice management system, and today is the fifth session on this specific subject. Sir, how was your experience for all these 5 sessions? That means all last 4 sessions. Okay, for the fifth session we'll discuss on today, and then after we'll take your reviews. So sir, you all have gained something new related to these topics. My voice is audible perfectly. Now, today also we discuss the things with the help of certain question and answers only. For our today's session, I have total 12 questions. We'll discuss each and every question one by one. Okay. And then after we'll conclude the series. So I will not take your much more time. We'll conclude the session in next 45 to 50 minutes. Okay, 12 questions will cover in 45 to 50 minutes. After each and every question, if you have any doubt, any question, any query, you are free to ask that query in the chat box. Okay, first 2 to 3 questions are very basic, and then after we have certain advanced level questions related to GST and income tax. But ऐसा नहीं है कि हम लोग केवल बेसिक ही डिस्कस करेंगे. First we'll start from basics, then we'll cover the technical points related to GST and income tax. Sir, if I just need to know the provision of law, the sections, the specific things related to the compliances, in that case it is a formative way. But now when I need to interlink my GST with the income tax or my income tax with GST, then it is quite complicated. So in our today's session, to boost your practices, to grow your practices, we'll discuss these things. Because as I am always saying, to attract the client, to retain the client, there is requirement to provide certain additional services. So this will be one of that particular point. Okay. So let's start our discussion on the question number 1. Our question number 1 is, what is the meaning and significance of the GST and income tax? This is very basic question. Again, I am saying you that first 2 to 3 questions are very basic. Then after we'll start our discussion on the technical parameter. But I just want your presence till the last moment of this session. Okay. Now, what is the significance or meaning of the GST and income tax? So first we just need to know that in case of income tax, my client will come to my office. Sir, today this session is only from the perspective of practice. So income tax. In that case, my client will come to my office at the end of year. And this income tax is leviable on the income. That means the income which has been credited to the bank account on which the income tax will be leviable, and there is certain slab which has been decided by the government. Now, in case of income tax, my client is not regularly visiting my office premises. My client will come at the end of the year. He will or she will submit the required documentation with the supportings based on the bank statement, based on the 16A will determine and calculate the income, and then after will charge the income tax and accordingly pay the same on the income tax portal. But this GST, as we all know, that this GST is an indirect taxation. What do you mean by this indirect taxation? Because this tax is not leviable on the directly. That means this tax will not be leviable directly on the income. In case of income tax, if your income is 12 lakh rupees, you have to pay the GST. So this tax, that income tax is leviable directly on the income, but this GST is not directly leviable. This is an indirect tax. If I am going to buy a particular pen, then my supplier will include the GST and say me that Sachin, this pen is for 1000 rupees and GST is included in that. So that tax I am paying indirectly, not on my income. But as we all know, that indirect taxation, that is GST, is on day-to-day daily transactions. So in that case, government has decided the return filing mechanism on monthly basis or quarterly basis. And we have to submit all the invoices with the government related to the sales. And we also need to submit all the invoices related to the purchase. And then after we have to file the returns. So basically, income tax is a direct tax, GST is an indirect tax. Very basic question, again repeating. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है we'll only discuss the basics, we'll discuss the advanced level as well. This income tax के case में we have to file the return on annual basis, yearly one return. But in case of GST, monthly or quarterly return is also there based on transactions. But income tax is on the income. So this was our very basic question. Now, just our second question. Is there is any connection between GST and income tax? This is the most important question. I can say, sir, what is your view? Is there is any connection between the GST and income tax? Just let me know in the chat box, yes and no. Is there is any connection between the GST and income tax? We all have to make this session interesting and interactive. Okay. And for that purpose, I just require your support. We'll give you certain very important tips from this particular perspective. And this session will be definitely very useful for all of you. Now, yes, definitely there is a connection between GST and income tax, because as we all know that all the portal, whether it is a GST portal, whether it is income tax portal, whether it is MCA portal, all these portals are open for all the authorities. They can check your data from the GST, from the income tax, from the MCA portal. There may be chances in certain cases, Shravanji, not in case of sales, there are a lot of factors are available. There may be chances our client in a particular specific year is showing a sales of rupees 45 lakh rupees while filing the income tax return. And why he has shown the 45 lakh rupees sales? Due to certain financial requirement, that person required certain funding, hence that person is filing the income tax return with higher income. So in that particular scenario, the point is that that person has not taken the GST registration. So the GST authority will automatically get the data from the income tax portal, and they found that yes, this person has shown the sales more than 40 lakh rupees or more than 20 lakh rupees, but not taken the GST registration. So they may create the liability. This is just a basic example. Sir, whenever there will be a business audit, departmental audit, scrutiny, search, seizure, inspection, in that case, your GST authority is going to check and monitor each and everything from your income tax dashboard as well. Hence, whenever there will be a business audit, departmental audit, scrutiny, the first document which has been demanded by the GST authorities will be your income tax return, income tax audit report. So answer is yes. Connection is there, but we need to show the parameter of the connections. Merely showing the connection is not sufficient. We also need to show the parameters of the connections. Now, first is to verify the sales. They may check the income tax portal. Second, in case of business audit, in case of departmental audit, in case of scrutiny, in case of inspection, search, seizure, the first thing they are demanding will be your income tax reports or income tax returns, although they have access to your data which you have submitted on the income tax portal. Third thing, suppose in your profit and loss account, if you have booked any income, sir, if possible for you, then just take note of these things, because whatever I am deliberating in this particular session, everything is based on the practical knowledge only. Okay, so and these are the practical examples. Suppose in your profit and loss account you have shown an income, that is interest income, 5 lakh rupees, and that interest is a financial interest, that means not a trade interest. That means no GST should be leviable on that financial interest. But if the departmental authority, while going through with the financial statement, found that there is an entry called interest, and they impose GST on that interest income, son, in that case you have to prove that this is my financial interest, and for that purpose you have to take the help of income tax audit report. You have to take the income tax audit report. Only from that perspective you can save your client. So you need to know, because in your income tax audit report we are clearly mentioned that these are the parties from which we have taken the loan. So that is called as unsecured loan. So from the perspective of term of financials, agar mujhe kuch clarify karna hai, there is requirement to check the income tax data. Also, if government wants to check the variation from various perspective, sales variation, purchase variation, there is a variation from the creditors, debtors, in that case they also have to take the help of income tax reports. Also, sir, as we all know now, whenever there will be a business audit, departmental audit, they are supposed to check the sales, the purchase, the opening stock, the closing stock, and from that quantum analysis they are supposed to find out the fake invoicing or paper transactions, and the amount which is available in the electronic credit ledger, or the amount which is available in the balance sheet. So from the fake invoicing perspective, they are taking the help of this income tax audit reports. कई बार हम लोग क्या सोचते हैं, from the income tax portal we just need to reconcile the sales which has been mentioned on the income tax report with the GST records. Sir, this is just a one part. We also need to verify the complete parameters of the 3CD report. In case of financial interest income, we have to check. In case of variation, we have to check that the same variation is there in GST, same variation there is in tax credit or not. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं हो sales is day by day increasing, purchase is also increasing, but the ratio is completely different. So for that purpose we have to take the help of income tax. So the same things are handled by the departmental authorities in case of departmental audit, business audit. But as a chartered accountant, as a professional, as a GST practitioner, to provide certain additional services to my client, all those things should be taken care by the GST professional as well, so that there may be no any litigations in future, and you can save your client, you can provide the best services. So these are the connections between the GST and income tax. First thing which we have covered, that is, what do you mean by this GST and income tax? Second question, what is the connection between the GST and income tax? So this connection is clear for everyone. These are just an example. Through this particular session of our today's, I am just going to give you a way out, that these are the things we just need to keep in our mind. होता क्या है, mainly we are focusing on the return filing, on the compliance handling, on the litigations. Sir, unless and until I will not give my 100% focus to these type other things as well, I will not be in a situation to grow my practices. So for that purpose, I should take care of these things. What is the role of income tax financials in GST compliances and reporting? Very important. Sir, आपने बोल दिया, yes, there is a connection between income tax and GST. You have also provided us the details about the GST and income tax, but now question is that what is the role of income tax financials in our GST compliances? As did you know, whenever we are filing the GST return for our client, whenever we are filing the returns of our client, in that case, what we are doing, we are demanding the Excel return, that is GSTR1 from the accounting software. We are just going to upload it on the GST and common portal and finalizing the things. There may be chances there are certain small traders, small businessmen, they are not maintaining the accounting, so we are taking the physical invoices, okay, and we are booking the same in our tally or accounting software, and then after we are generating the reports and filing the return. This is the basic practice which we are following related to purchase or related to GSTR 3B. We are just taking the consolidated data from the accounting software and uploading the same on GST and common portal. We are taking the input tax credit from GSTR 2B and filing the return. Am I right? We all are doing this type of things only for the whole year. Just comment me once in the chat box, sir. I know we all are connected on the YouTube platform, but we also need to focus that these things are also very, very important for us. So you just need to comment in the chat box. We are taking the data and filing the returns only. Yes or no? Yes, Manthan sir. Yes. Now, point is that what we need to do and what is the right way to grow your practices. Although very soon we are coming with that particular type of workshop as well. Now, the point is that what we have to do on quarterly basis, on half yearly basis. If you are maintaining the accounting for your client, then generate the financial statement, that is provisional trading P&L and balance sheet. If you are taking the data from your client and filing the returns, in that case also demand the provisional financial statement, trading P&L, balance sheet from your client. Okay, so after taking the financial statements from your client, sir, I have taken the provisional financial statement from my client. Now tell me what will be my roles after getting the financial statement. So after getting the financial statement, you just need to do one thing. Just check the expenditure, just check the income from the profit and loss account, and check that, sir, the sales which has been reported in the financial statement for the quarter or for the half year, whatever will be convenient for you, that sales is reconciled with the consolidated GSTR 3B which you have filed on GST and common portal, yes or no? We also need to check the other income which is there in profit and loss account, whether the GST has been paid or not. We also need to check the expenditure which is there in the provisional financial statement. And we need to check there is any expenditure on which RCM is to be applicable and the client has paid or not. That is reverse charge mechanism. We have to check this specific thing. Okay, and if there is certain item which is there in profit and loss account, and when you go through with the GSTR 3B which has been filed on the portal, and you found that no RCM has been paid, in such a scenario you just need to ask your client that, sir, this is the expenditure on which RCM is applicable, but you have not paid. What is the reason? So that will create an extra impression on your client, and this will show the perfection. Also, if there is any expenditure for which ITC is not allowed, in that case, you should also check that the taxpayer has claimed the input tax credit or not, or the same has been blocked or not. We also need to check any. We also need to check any type of variation, that is adverse variation in the opening stock, closing stock, sales and purchase. And when we are finalizing or when we are checking the financial statement, we also need to focus on the gross profit, net profit provisionally. I know that financial statement is not a final financial statement. You can suggest certain additional entries, certain additional adjustment as well in that particular statement. That is what is also a role for you. So these type of things we should take care while handling the GST compliances through the through the financial statement. So now, and it will not take much more time. Suppose you have decided that at the end of quarter, we'll just do one thing. We'll just demand the provisional financial statement from our client with the GSTR 1 and 3B, and we can check all these things. Okay. Eligible ITC, yes, we can check through the GSTR 2B, we can compare. But today we'll only discuss about the financial statement analysis perspective. So financial statement ke perspective, these things we should take care, and we should also take care of the closing input tax credit which is there in balance sheet with the input tax credit which is available on GST and common portal under electronic credit ledger. Both should be reconciled. If there is any difference, in that case, we have to prepare the reconciliation so that it will be a working for you. Otherwise, while going for the income tax audit or while going for the GSTR 9 and 9C, we are focusing on all these things, but we just need to do these things on quarterly or half yearly basis. This is the third question. Now, how does GST reconciliation impact the income tax audit process? Sir, as we all know, from the July, we all are starting the income tax audit related work. Okay. Many of you, if you are not a chartered accountant, you are preparing the audit reports and you are providing the same to the chartered accountants and going for the audit. So in that case, as we all know now, while doing the income tax audit report, we all know that the purpose, the role of the chartered accountant or the purpose of the audit is to verify the genuineness, the sales, to verify the genuineness of purchase, to verify the genuineness of expenditure, genuineness of income, genuineness of transactions other. Because based on your sales or purchase, your debtor and creditor will be generated. Based on your expenditure, your fixed assets will be generated. So the basic purpose of the income tax audit report is to check the genuineness of sales, purchase, expenditure, we can say. Okay. Yes, in case of 44 AD, if you are not uploading the bank statement or there is no requirement to upload these things, in that case it is okay. But you also need to check the sales figure which you are reporting in the 44 AD report, and you have to prepare the financials from the GST perspective. Although you have selected for the 44 AD, you are not supposed to audit. But in case of income tax, uh, that means in case of GST, when they will demand the documents from the departmental audit perspective, at that time you have to present the financials. No need to maintain the audited financials, but financials are required, and financials should be proper. Okay, so that is what is the thing we need to keep in our mind. Now, how does GST reconciliation impact the income tax audit process? So sales, purchase and expenditure, and the purpose of income tax is to check the genuineness of the sales, purchase and transactions which is there. Now, after GST, we all know that each and every transaction is in your GST. If you want to check the genuineness of the sales, you can check through the GST and common portal. If you want to check the genuineness of the purchase, you can check through the GST and common portal. If you want to check any expenditure or transactions, you can easily trace the same through GST and common portal. Now, while going for the income tax audit process, you need to verify all these things. In that case, if you have prepared the data for all these things at the beginning of the year or during the year itself, in that case, there will be a very less efforts is required while doing the income tax audit process. Very less efforts are required while going for the income tax audit process. Sir, what type of reconciliation and what do you mean by the reconciliation? So whenever I am using the word reconciliation, that means 2B, 3B, 2B1, yes, but there is certain additional reconciliations are also required. For your reference, if you are preparing the reconciliation on half yearly basis, in that case, you have already reconciled your sales. So basically, while doing the income tax audit report, you have to put the turnover. So you can easily check the same from your half yearly reconciliation. In case of your audit report, you are showing the purchases. So on half yearly basis, you should verify the purchase register with input tax credit so that your ITC balances as well as your purchase which you are showing in your income tax audit report, you can easily trace and track. Also, we need to focus in case of income tax audit on the expenditure or you can say transactions. So in that case, each and every transaction, 70 to 80% transactions are under GST. So you can easily trace the same from the GSTR to be reconciliation and other transactions you have to check from the physical invoices or the entries which is mentioned in the software. But 70 to 80% work you can easily handle through these reconciliations. So in your income tax process, if you have prepared the reconciliations related to sales, related to 2B versus 3B, and if you will prepare the reconciliation related to 2B versus 3B, then automatically your expenditure will be reconciled because every entry is there in your GSTR 2B. So your expenditure will automatically reconciled. Your GSTR 1 and 3B. Your RCM reconciliation, your ITC closing balance reconciliation, these are the reconciliations you should prepare so that while going for the income tax audit, you can easily check the sales, you can easily check the 2B and 3B, 1 and 3B, so that genuineness will be there. RCM you have already reconciled through the reconciliation and the closing balance, so that you need to make very less efforts while going for the income tax audit report. And sir, the most important fact which I just want to share with you, that while going for the income tax audit, we are most probably starting the income tax audit in the July, August, September. And maximum of the income tax audit reports are filing in the month of September. Now again, we have a due date to file the GSTR 9 and 9C return, that is December. Or we have to prepare the reconciliations by October because the timeline is there, that is 30th November, to make the adjustments related to relevant financial year. So from July till November, this period is quite hectic and it will be very difficult to compare all those things, to prepare the reconciliation, to manage all these type of things. Hence, what we can do, if we'll go for a half yearly reconciliation, or I can say on the basis of annual reconciliation, we all can conduct these things very easily. Very easily. That is what is the thing we have to focus on. So this is my fourth question. Manthan sir, now we are working on that particular software. There is certain changes in that particular software. So we'll definitely communicate to all the participants when the tool will be ready. Sorry. Now, why are forms 26 AS, AIS, TIS important from a GST perspective? What is the relevance? Sir, first, just confirm me once, are you enjoying the session? Are you learning something new, certain things related to your profession? Just confirm me once in the chat box, because your feedback plays a very important role for me. Thank you, sir, for your. Just wait for a single second. Okay, sir. Thank you. Yes, definitely. Thank you for your comments in the chat box. And as this is a 5 day series, and today is the fifth day, that is last day. And from April, 1st of April, we are launching a weekly knowledge series in which we have a one session on every Saturday. That means 52 weeks, 52 Saturday, we have session from 6 to 7 p.m. on different topics related to GST, related to professional growth, related to the practice management. Will conduct the sessions on every Saturday, 6 to 7 p.m. from April 1st. Okay. So that is also our initiative. We are going to start that particular knowledge series 6 to 7 p.m. But yes, definitely that will not be free, because the point is that if we'll provide the free, then everyone is not going to join. They are just going to register and they will join or not join. That is completely their call. So we'll charge a very nominal price for that particular series. And also with that series, will provide for each and every session on the weekend, a colorful attractive chart based ebook for each and every session. Okay. So, and the study material will be completely unique, completely antique. Okay. That is chart based presentation, or various graphics are there in that particular book, and in a very simplified language with 52 weeks. So your next financial year will be full of knowledge. Okay. Very soon we are launching that details. The price will be very nominal, and really that price is only for your presence, so that those who are very serious towards the learning, they will join for that particular course. Okay, so that we all can create a great world of knowledge. Now take the next question: why form 26 as AIS TIS? There is one specific line is there, that is, अभी हमको अपने बारे में जितना नहीं पता है ना, उतना गवर्नमेंट को पता है. Government knows about me more than me, because they have multiple sources. From that they are getting the data, they are getting the information. And one of them is AES TIS 26AS. They have idea what amount of sales you have made, what type of transactions you have made, what type of income you have received, what type of expenditure you have made. So everything is there with the government through the help of 26AS AIS TIS. As we all know, when we are generating the 26AS, your complete sales will be reflected in your AIS. That is 26AS. If you will generate your AIS TIS, your purchase and your sales will be there in that AIS TIS. So this question is just to show you that there is a multiple sources for the verification of your data. And whenever there will be a multiple sources for a single data, in that case we have to be very much careful, because government can get the idea about the things from various modes. So we should be very much careful whenever your AIS TIS 26AS is generating, or whenever you will file your income tax return. Suppose your client is not liable for the income tax audit, but you are merely filing the income tax return, then also you have to prepare the GST reconciliations from the 26AS, AIS, TIS and the GST records, so that your returns will be filed in a perfect way. Can income tax data be used as a basis for case selection in scrutiny and assessment? A very confidential information, sir. Sir, Government is selecting or departmental authorities are selecting our cases for the scrutiny, for the assessment, for the audit. Now, yes, they are selecting on certain basis, and one of the base is your income tax data. One is the base of your income tax data. Whatever return you are filing on the income tax portal, and if there will be any mismatch in your 26 AS, AES, TIS, in that case, your data may be shared with the GST and common portal authorities, and GST authorities can select your case for the assessment and scrutiny. This is also one of the parameters. This is also one of the parameter for selection of the case for the scrutiny and for the assessment. So we need to be very much careful from that aspect. So we have various important questions. Okay. So be there, stay connected with me. This session will be very helpful for all of us. Okay. So this is the one reason they are selecting the scrutiny and assessment. Second, suppose in case of income tax department, they are issuing multiple notices. And also we know that now the income tax portal is issuing the notices related to high risk related transactions. Based on that high risk related transactions, the data will be transferred to GST and portal, and that is also one source for selection of the case for the scrutiny and assessment. And as we all know, whenever there will be a scrutiny, whenever there will be an audit, in that case, multiple notices or multiple questions or queries can be asked, multiple documentation can be asked. So we need to be very much careful from that aspect, so that our audit and assessment proceedings will be very effectively. And also, if we'll found the reason for the selection of the case for the scrutiny and assessment, we can prevent these things. Okay, or we can reduce the chances of the assessment and scrutiny by filing the income tax audit report or income tax return. So this session is specifically designed to guide you that these things we should keep in our mind while filing the income tax return, GST return, so that the chances of litigations got reduced. That is what is the purpose. Next, what are the key considerations to be keep in mind while filing an income tax return? Yes, sir. This question is basically related to the income tax only. Yes, please post your queries in the chat box, which is available on YouTube. We'll definitely respond in next 10 to 15 minutes. Okay. So whatever will be your queries, just put it in the chat box. Now, what are the key considerations? This session is not an income tax related session. But yes, from GST perspective, while filing the income tax return, because multiple time hota kya hai, when I am filing the income tax audit report, at that time I will be very much careful about the reconciliation, about the things. But I am very less careful while filing the income tax return from the GST perspective. But as we all know, that if the turnover crosses the limit of 20 lakh or 40 lakh, in that case, requirement to take the GST registration. But in income tax, you are merely filing the income tax return, but you have to prepare the reconciliations. Whatever will be the sales you are reporting in your income tax return, just careful that your sales should be reconciled with your GST and common portal. If you are attaching the financial statement in your income tax return, or you are showing any type of expenditures, in that case, just ensure, कई बार क्या होता है income tax में, while preparing the profit and loss account and balance sheet, certain expenditure I am just going to put ऐसे ही, to reduce the net profit, to reduce the gross profit, to reduce the tax implication. While preparing the income tax return or while preparing the financial statement, just keep one thing in your mind. If you are a GST registered person and you are adding any expenditure or any income in your financial statement while filing the income tax return, then you should keep the things, the effect related to the GST as well in your mind. Because once you file the return, and when departmental authority will check the return particulars, expenditure, income, and they found certain parameters which affect the GST revenue collection, in that case, definitely your client will be in a trouble. So we need to be very much careful from that aspect. This is also a very important thing that we need to take care while filing the income tax return. How do income tax financial play a role in the departmental audit? As we all know, whenever there will be a business audit, whenever there will be a departmental audit, they are first demanding your income tax audit report. just for the analysis of your financial statement from GST applicability perspective, input reversal perspective, RCM applicability perspective, fake transaction, fake invoicing, finding of perspective, ratio analysis perspective. So these are just the example of the basis. Okay. If you want to write, you can write it. Why financial statement for income, for expenditure, for reverse charge mechanism, for ratio analysis, for fake transaction identification, for paper transaction identification, for checking the base of the gross profit and the net profit, for the various item of fixed assets of the balance sheet, for the input credit closing balances, for the creditors movement. They are also demanding your trial balance. Sir, why they are demanding the trial balance? Because through that trial balance, they just want to identify the reconciliations. And they just want to check the movement of the debtors, movement of the creditors from one period to another period to verify the genuineness of the business. Because in case of business audit, in case of departmental audit, the purpose is not just to prepare the reconciliation. The purpose is very big. The purpose of the business audit, departmental audit, is to check the genuineness of the business as well, the existence of the business as well. आपको पता रहेगा 20 to 30% of the GST registration nowadays cancelled on retrospective basis due to bogus GST registration. So in that case, they found these things through the analysis of the financial statements. So we should be very much careful while preparing the financial statement. These things plays a very, very, very important. Merely return filing is not the work of a GST professional or GST practitioners. We just need to keep our eyes open always so that we can focus on the multiple areas. What is the scope of authorities in case of tax litigation under GST and the income tax laws? While going for the business audit, departmental audit, scrutiny, any type of inspection, search and seizure by the GST department, and during that proceedings, if they require any help from the income tax authorities, then they are free to take the income tax authorities. If they require any documentation, then income tax authority will provide you. कई बार हमको लगता है यार I am not filing the income tax audit report, I am merely filing the return, so I may shift certain figures in the income tax return, but I am not going to show the same in GST return. And while filing the income tax return, will change certain things, will manipulate certain things. But sir, keep in your mind, you have already submitted the data with the income tax department, and the GST authority can collect that data. So this thing we need to keep in our mind, because if we are supposed to do any adjustment in the financial, then we should do it with proper planning. Yes, sir. Our purpose is not go for any fake invoicing, paper transactions, bogus transactions. No. But if we are going for any business consultancy, growth oriented model, compliance handling, then we also need to check that everything should be in a planned way. So the scope of the authorities is very, very, very wider. That thing we should keep in our mind. How does the treatment of unexplained income impact GST liability? Sir, nowadays आपको पता रहेगा, in case of income tax, many authorities has issued the notices related to unexplained income, which has been submitted due to during the monetization period, during the COVID period. Certain people have deposited the amount, and income tax department is issuing the notices on account of unexplained income. Did you know they are transferring that data to GST department as well? And after income tax department, your GST department will be there, and they will say that sir, on this unexplained income, GST will be applicable. Suppose 1 CR at the rate of 18%, 18 lakh rupees will be the GST applicability on the unexplained income. Sir, now why you have taken this question? Because whenever there will be an income tax related matter on account of unexplained income, and you are submitting the documentation with the authority, just keep one thing in your mind: in your explanation, in your submission, you should take care that on that unexplained income, GST will also be applicable, and you need to prepare the reply accordingly. You need to suggest your client accordingly. कई बार होता क्या है, client is coming to our office related to that unexplained income. We are saying that yes, income tax में ये rebate मिल जाएगी, ये हो जाएगा. We are not covering the point related to GST. And in future, when the GST authority will come, at that time our client will say that sir, We have provided you the complete details about this case, but you have not explained anything about the GST applicability. So from that perspective also we need to be very much careful. Whenever we are providing any advice related to any matter, we should keep one thing in our mind that, sir, now income tax or GST, both are two wheels of a vehicle. So that is what is the thing we need to keep in our mind. Now, very important thing, many times, as we all know that GST will be applicable in case of services, as I am providing the training services, as I am providing the training services. So suppose there is one session has been scheduled in April month, and I have received certain advances in the month of Feb. So in case of advances of the services, we all know that GST will be applicable under services on account of advances. So yes, GST will be applicable. Now, in the Feb month, I don't want to pay the amount to the government. I don't want to pay the amount to the government on that advances. So what I am doing, I am showing that 1 lakh rupees. Suppose I have received 1 lakh rupees as advances. I am showing that 1 lakh rupees as deposit. That I have received a deposit from this particular person for conducting the session. This is not a advances. Hence, I am not paying the GST. Now, suppose counterparty has already deducted the TDS as advance on account of services, professional services. In that case, whenever there will be a departmental audit scrutiny, they will easily found out that, sir, you have booked it as a deposit, but counterparty has deducted the TDS, so it is a advance, and you have to pay the GST on that particular amount at the rate of 18%, but you have not paid at that time, so you have to pay it with interest. So that is what is the effect of a very important entry. Whenever there will be a planning, we just need to ensure that both sides, same entries is to be going on and proper agreement writing should be there. And if you are receiving on account of service as advances, pay the GST. Because if it is advance on account of service, then payment is there. Why we need to suggest our client, or if our client is saying that we'll treat it as a deposit, then we should suggest that, sir, it should not be treated as deposit. It will be an advance. एक बार क्लाइंट को हो सकता है लगेगा यार मेरा सीए मेरा प्रोफेशनल मुझसे टैक्स भरवा रहा है, बट योर कंसल्टेंसी विल बी इन अ परफेक्ट वे. What are the key financial statement analysis considerations for both GST and income tax perspective? So, sir, various reconciliations we should take care of. We should take care of turnover reconciliation. And whenever you are preparing the turnover reconciliation, just keep in your mind if there is any difference, you should have the proper notings of that difference. If you are issuing any credit note, in that case proper declaration should be there regarding the credit note that the recipient has already reversed the input tax credit, otherwise there may be litigation in future. That is what is the thing we need to keep in our mind. From the balance sheet perspective, we have to analyze from the fixed assets, we have to analyze from the capital assets perspective. So these are the very important things which we need to be keep in our mind. These are the 12 important questions related to GST versus income tax. So today in this particular session, we have not covered any provision, any section, but we'll cover how and what are the things we need to keep in our mind from the GST and income tax perspective while this is. Sir, I just require your 5 to 7 minutes more. But before moving ahead, I just require your comments in the chat box. Sir, how was all these 12 questions? These questions are helpful for all of you. You will definitely receive the PDF file of these questions on your registered mail ID. But I request post this particular session, you will get a link for your feedback about all these 5 days series. So I request everyone to provide your valuable feedback before moving ahead. Sir, आज का सेशन कैसा था? How was our today's session? Just comment me in the chat box. We'll also take your queries. If you have filed your return based on GSTR 3B and 2B, and now department is issuing the notices on account of 2A and 3B, in that case, you just need to prepare one reply and attest the reconciliation of 2B and 3B and say that, sir, we have filed the return as per or claim the input tax credit as per section 38 of CGST Act and prepare your reply. Okay. Very soon we are coming with a session on the drafting as well. That will also be very much helpful. In that case, we just need to do one thing. If there is certain e-way bill has already been generated, that you just need to submit the reference of your returns which you have filed nil and suggest and write that it is a technical issue, we have not generated anything, or you may demand the breakup of the things, okay, related to that, if departmental authority is creating any liability on account of that e-way bill. But if they are not creating any liability, then ignore it. If they are creating, in that case, you may demand the things. Sir, I request everyone, whatever will be your feedback, just comment me in the chat box how this session is going on. How was our session? And I also request everyone, those discount received, Harish sir, discount received, you just need to show in your financial statement. If it is a financial discount, it is a trade discount. If the discount is discount amount, we should show in our uh, financial statement. But for financial discount and trade discount, we need to maintain the bifurcation as well. Okay. Now, one important information from my side that is different from others. Okay. One information that is not advertisement, the GST comprehensive course, which is going to be start from 9th of March. In this course, will cover the complete GST law, each and every section, with around 250 practical case studies on even Supreme Court, High Court, and around 250 practical questions. And this course is completely like a TV series. Okay. But the point is that we have decided a price of 3,400 rupees for the set of books. But we have received multiple requests that, sir, we don't want to buy the books, but we just want to join that course for 45 days. Or we'll buy the books after watching the 5 to 7 days of the course. Yes, books are very much required for that particular course. But now if you don't want to buy the books, you just want to access that course, in that case, yes, without books you can also access that course. For that purpose, my team is sending one Google form in the chat box. You just need to fill that Google form, and for all the 45 days we'll charging a fees of 200 rupees. That fees is just a administration charges. If you want to register for this course, in that case, QR code is in front of you. You may make the payment of 200 rupees only. Sir, 200 rupees, 45 days. After joining this course, you will not satisfied, you can take back that 200 rupees from us. Okay. So, and that 200 rupees we are just charging for your presence. If you'll provide it for free, in that case, many of the participants will just register and not join. So, hence, we require your commitment. And for your commitment, we are charging 200 rupees just administration fees. After joining this course, if you think that, yes, I require the books, in that case, you may buy the books. Will charge only 3,200 rupees. So I request everyone, those who have joined our today's session, join this live course, 45 days live course for 200 only. Sir, 45 days, complete GST law, 250 case studies, 250 practical problems, just at 200 rupees. And this 200 is just a administration charges, because we have software charges, a lot of things. So this 200 rupees we are just charging as a administration charges. So I request everyone, if you want to join, you can join that particular course. And those who have already joined the course and book the books, in that case, yes, that will be a super duper experience for you. Okay. And those who are joining this course with 200, also you will get the same experience. Yes, if you'll buy the books, it will be very, very, very helpful. So I request everyone, and whatever will be your feedback, you will get one link about the feedback. So provide your feedback so that you can get the study material, you can get the recording link as well. So once again, thank you everyone, and very soon we are coming with this knowledge series. Okay, just this is a information. We are coming with this knowledge series, and this knowledge series is on each and every Saturday. We have a workshop 6 to 7 p.m. in which we'll cover different topics for all the 42 weeks, 42 subjects, 42 topics. Will provide different e-guides, colorful chart books, and the price we have decided as a 2999, but now we are providing it at 1199. Okay, 1199 for all the 52 weeks. So anyone wants to join this particular series, in that case we'll live it by today late night. So anyone want to buy this particular course, then you just need to connect on this number 80728808, because this particular series is available for 1199 for 100 participants only, not more than that. Okay, and I also request, if you have not registered for the GST comprehensive yet, in that case 200 rupees सबसे best deal है. Take this opportunity. This is my promise to you. That will be a ultimate experience for all of us for the learning. This GST comprehensive course is for 45 days, Monday to Friday, GST comprehensive course. Okay. At the end of the course, there is one examination. You will also get the certificate after completion of the course as well. So, and I request, don't provide any screenshot on the WhatsApp number. You just need to fill the Google form which we have submitted. And if you have any query, in that case, connect on this number. And I also request those who really wants to learn something great, in that case, these 52 weeks knowledge series is very extremely important. You can join this, just an investment of 1199 for the whole year. You will get the PDF files, you will get the videos, you will get the recordings for lifetime watching. Don't wait, register now. Thank you everyone for joining, for listening. And I also request, any information you require, connect on this number. This number is always available for you, 80728808. Those who wants to join the knowledge series, just comment on this number. You will get the registration link. You should register by today itself, so that you can grab that opportunity for 1200 rupees only. Okay, and GST comprehensive course, yes, definitely you should go for 200 rupees. Register now, so that you can get the access to this extremely great event. Thank you, everyone. The course will start on 9th of March. You will receive the joining link as well. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you for listening with us. Bye-bye. Take care. We'll meet you soon in this GST comprehensive course. Okay. And also, we have one more free course is available. We'll share the details in the group. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you for listening. We'll meet you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. And yes, just provide your feedback after getting the feedback link, because many participants are not providing the feedback. So this is my request to you. Now this is the time. Provide your feedback for all those 5 days. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening.